I saw a vivid scene the last couple of days. It was actually two vivid scenes. Both of them involved fire. One of them was the scene of the SpaceX rocket lifting off the launch pad at Cape Canaveral for the first time in 9 years, taking American astronauts on an American commercially built spacecraft to the International Space Station. And I watched the flames coming out of the bottom of that rocket, and I thought, wow, look at what we can do when we pull all the people and all those resources together. In a very stark contrast, that same day, I saw flames. But this time they were the flames of cities on fire across the United States. And I thought, look what happens when we respond to our pain, when we respond to the challenges around us in a way that isn't effective. And then we don't have the success of SpaceX. We have the destruction of our cities. And the contrast between those two things is profound, because what it gets down to is something that affects you as a leader and your company every day. How do you handle the pain, the stress, the crises, the COVID-19 that's all around us? How you respond to those things will determine whether or not you are a SpaceX success or whether you move to a place of crisis or a place even of destruction for your company. So that's why we exist as Eden Business Concepts, because we want to help you see that difference. We want to help you navigate that trajectory, and we want you to understand what it takes to get there. Dennis, what is the first thing you think about when you look at a leader or you look at a company and you see them trying to figure out what's going on in a crisis like this?
Well, the first thing that I've noticed with business leaders is this idea, you alluded to it, mentioned to it, this idea of passion, this idea of an emotional energy, a heart-level emotional energy, and when it's directed and focused and aligned, you get SpaceX, and when it's not, you get the opposite. And so in a crisis, a leader still has a lot of passion for himself and his family and the vision of that business, a lot of passion to help his people, because most business leaders really do care about their people, and they want to provide a job and a paycheck. And then a passion for where they fit in the society as a business and in the marketplace. As you and I know, passion without purpose it can do a lot of damage. And so when you come out of crisis, we have a lot of passion and we have to refocus back on our purpose. And that's part of the challenge in this time as we re-engage coming out of COVID.
Right. You see a lot of passion in both the scenarios that I talked about. It was how the passion was directed. What was the goals behind it? Was there a purpose? Did we even understand what the purpose was? What are some of the things that thwart us understanding and actually being able to implement that purpose?
Well, just play off the theme of SpaceX and the recent horrific news events is noise. Each one of those things makes a tremendous cacophony. The sound pressure coming off the rocket.
It's
it's felt. The sound pressure coming off, the chaos, the fires, the looting, the pain and the passion there. And so there's a lot of noise. And so the first thing we have to do when we start to step back in out of a crisis is say, what is the noise and how do we bring that volume down? Because when we bring that volume down, we're going to be able to see things clearly.
Exactly. So the first step in the process of walking into a crisis or coming back out of a crisis successfully is really lowering emotional noise. And when we can lower the emotional noise that's going on inside of us, and we can lower the emotional noise that's going on inside of the people around us, now we can hear each other. Now we can begin to have a conversation, begin to understand how to move forward. But if we can't hear each other, then we can't have a conversation, and we can't have a relationship, and we can't thrive.